Good morning, Safwan.
Good morning. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you. At 9Sharp, I could tell you a little bit about 9Sharp. So at 9Sharp, we're into the personal branding. So we believe that everybody now needs to start treating themselves as a brand. And so unlike all the, we're not very different from the rich and famous these days. We need to start presenting ourselves and everything that makes us unique. So a typical CV resume is not good enough anymore because it gives you just a basic amount of information. So with 9Sharp, we've changed all of that. We said, okay, if people want to stand out, if people want to be unique, and we have to allow them to create a page, a professional page in a social network that allows them to stand out. And so we did that by allowing them to configure their page in a way that makes it really unique, to bring content from the web. So if they have Twitter, YouTube, GitHub, Stack Overflow, Behance, they bring all of that into one live page. And it makes it very unique and it helps people stand out. So we're very excited because it really is unique out there. It's the only way right now where you could really build a quick profile, a professional profile, and really help you stand out.
Sure. Now, obviously, I mean, there are a lot of profiles. There's LinkedIn, people have profile pages, Facebook, as you mentioned, to some extent, Twitter and some other online websites and apps. So this brings it all together. Is that what you're saying?
That's it, yeah. So, if you go to LinkedIn, it's a great product, but it's great for networking, but it's a very uninteresting page because everything in there looks the same. There's no color, there's no graphics, there's no content. Other than the typical CV, basically it's a paper CV online.
Sure.
Now what we've done is we said, look, we need to see, if I look at somebody's profile, I want to know about them very quickly. I want to know what makes them unique, right? And right now, if I go into a typical CV, it's a bunch of links at the bottom of the page. With 9Sharp, that changes completely because your links are always live. So when you say, oh, I have an article that I've written, or I have a project that I've done somewhere else, or a bunch of photos that I've done somewhere else, they all come to life in 9Sharp. So right away, as you go look at somebody's profile, you're seeing live content. That content has been updated recently. So what makes it even better is, let's say, for example, you decide, okay, let me put my Twitter link in there. So when you put Twitter, we get your most recent tweets. The same thing with medium.com, for example. You put a link to your profile on medium.com, we get your most recent articles. So now when somebody's looking at your professional page, they say, oh, that's interesting. There is an article on Medium that this person has written. Now, if that wasn't a typical CV, that would be buried in a link somewhere, and nobody would know about that. So what's great about it is, we have everything. We have the social networking. We have a way to create your experience, your skills, and all of that. But we decided that that's not enough. We need to bring the content from the web. So as I scroll somebody's page, I really see what makes them stand out. We don't go to Facebook. I mean, when a user sets up his profile, he can import some content from Facebook.
Okay.
But we don't go get his photos, what he did last night at a party, none of that. So it's all around professional content. So it's about medium.com, GitHub for programmers, Stack Overflow, Behance, all of the things that people do typically for professional purpose, a way for them to brand themselves really. Same thing with medium.com, or even it could be articles on the web. So we can grab anything. We can grab a YouTube video, an article from the web, practically anything. We handle more than 2,200 websites right now. So any content on the web, we take it, you give us the link, and we make it pretty. And what's amazing about it is it doesn't require any design or programming skills.
Sure. So there is a free product and there is a premium product, am I correct?
Absolutely. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that everybody has access to 9Sharp. So our free version gives users the same features that everybody else gets. So they'll get access to all of these great widgets so they can connect to anything on the web. The only thing is there is a restriction in how often it refreshes. So for example, your Twitter profile, if you choose to put it in your 9Sharp, If you use the free version, it will update every couple of weeks, while if you upgrade to the gold or platinum option, then it'll update. At the platinum option, it's hourly. So if somebody is looking for a job right now and wants it to be updated frequently, then that might be a good option for them. But if they're not, but still want to maintain a professional profile and build their brand, then they can absolutely have the free version.
Can you manually update?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. It's auto-updating by itself.
Okay. Okay.
And then the ultimate thing is when a person goes with the platinum option is they can have their own domain name. So basically, you could buy any domain, and the user could do it through us, because if they do it through us, then we manage everything. So we will buy the domain on their behalf, we'll configure it, set it up, and then somebody could then have a professional page with their domain name on it. There are multiple reasons why somebody should have this profile. The main one is a way for them to brand themselves. And that's important now at every level. According to Intuit, they say by 2020, 40% of the US job market would be by people who are working from home. So as consultants, as freelancers. So now if these freelancers want to go out and say, okay, I want that job, they need a way to say I'm better than the other person. And the problem is that they need to build a page for themselves. But even when somebody goes and builds a website on his own, unfortunately, it's not live. Within a few months, a year, it's out of date. In fact, a lot of my friends and contacts who are programmers and designers don't have time to maintain their own website. So usually their website is 5 years behind. So with 9Sharp, the advantage is everybody could start building their profile and help themselves stand out from the rest. Now, so this is good for freelancers. For me personally, I would like to see every student have a 9Sharp profile, because now students, they leave university and they have 500 other students with the exact same qualifications. And that's an incredibly difficult thing to go against, right? And as people now are working from home and all that, now you're not just competing a bit against people in your own city, you're competing against the world, because everybody has similar qualifications at this point. So people need to start thinking of themselves as a brand. What is it that makes me unique? So it's not enough to say, oh, I've done this at university and I have these interests and skills. No, what is it that you do outside of your job? Do you blog about the topics that have maybe something to do with work or not? I think employers are very interested in knowing, what do you do outside of work that helps you be a much more interesting and better person than this. And you know, it's about whether you blog, whether you write articles, even your music. It's very interesting when we hired somebody recently here for 9Sharp, and we're like, oh, he's into music. That's a different aspect. He's not going to do that at 9Sharp, but it tells us that he's creative in that sense. And employers want to know that. They want to know all the dimensions of a person. And they would like to see it in one place, because right now the biggest challenge, I think, is when an employer wants to hire somebody, they have to Google that person and then hope to find all of the pages for that person, to find out everything about him. But here with 9Sharp, you're saying, look, this is who I am from A to Z, and this is, this tells you about me more than anything else.